Welcome. It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And we are back at the Bevic Convention Center. This is day, 7 and 8? Are we really already to 7 and 8? It looks like it. Day 7 and 8, Anvil Aerospace. So May 23rd and 24th. And Anvil always has some great offerings for us. One thing you might want to check out is we're saying goodbye to the F7 Hornet Mark 1. So CIG, I guess, in their brilliant marketing ideas, have decided to not allow you to buy the F7 Hornet ever again after this sell. Now you'll be able to get the Mark II Hornet in the future, and they will be coming out with the same versions of the Mark II as they have of the Mark Is. So in other words, if you don't already have a Hornet Mark I, well, you're just not going to be able to get it except for in certain situations in game. Although the Mark II seems to be a fair upgrade over the Mark I can't imagine most people wanting to just stick with the Mark I. You're going to want to get Mark II. So if you're a collector, that means you're going to have to buy a whole new set of F7 Hornets in the future. Let's move on. Okay, starting at $75, we have the Arrow, which is probably one of the premier light fighters out there. The Gladius is still considered a light fighter. The Arrow used to outperform the Gladius. I don't know where it is in today's meta because the meta always changes. Then you have the Ballista, which is a surface-to-air, mobile surface-to-air missile silo thingy. Yeah, so and it works really well. Two-person, one sits in the front, one sits in the back. It controls the turret. Person up front can control the turret here. So it can be a fun little, it's not really little, it's kind of like a truck, but anyways, yeah, $140 for the Ballista. Then we move on to the Anvil C8R Pisces. This is the medical version of the Pisces. Goes perfect in a Carrack, but it's a great little ship for pretty much any ship that has room to store this thing, or you can do it on a flight on your own. It does have a jump capable drive, so you're able to quantum around a system. It doesn't have a jump drive where you're able to go between systems, but it definitely has the quantum drive within a system. $65 for the C8R. C8X, which is the exploration version of the Pisces, $45. And then the legendary Carrack. This is the end game, one of the end game exploration vessels out there. $600. Now, this thing used to be like $325. It's gone up. Now it's $600. So I think I could still buy one and buy back for $325. So if you got it early on, you got a steal on it. Goes to show you that a lot of the concepts weren't well priced early on compared to where they could sell now. So, well, with inflation and just way things are as far as marketing is concerned, they like to put a it's kind of a limited time thing kind of thing on some ships. Anyways, $600 for a Carrack. It's a freaking awesome ship. It's got a med bed in it. It's made for long range exploration. It's going to have drones. It's going to have a lot of cargo. It's got a cargo bay. It's got a snub bay that's made for the C8 Pisces. So it's got a little bit of everything that you could possibly want. And if you've got a small group of friends, it's perfect for a smaller org or a small group because you can man all the turrets. Somebody can fly the little ship they need to or whatever. I think it's just a perfect ship for smaller groups to play. Then we have the Centurion. So the Ballista is the surface-to-air missile version. The Centurion is the surface-to-air gun version. So it's got these size 4s back here that can, be used to shoot down enemy planes. Then we have the Crucible. It's still priced at $350, and that is shocking. Absolutely shocking. So this one is still a concept. They haven't done much work on it as far as gray box and all that. Although I had heard they were working on it at one point. But this is your in-game repair platform. So you'll be able to repair fighters in this little bay. You'll be able to repair bigger ships. This area here rotates 360 degrees. I mean, it's just kind of cool. And really, this ship should probably go for at least $500. Once it goes flyable, I expect it to be every bit of $500. So if you want to get the Crucible at $350, now would be the time to do it. It might be the last time. Hornet Mark 1, $125. You could get the Mark II at $175. Is it worth the extra $50? Yeah, maybe. It just depends. Now, if you were able to get the upgrade to the F7A Mark II, that one comes with all the guns and stuff. That one's definitely worth it. But you had to do the Xenothreat operation missions to get that one. So a little bit more difficult, but this one does pack a punch compared to the F7C Mark I. Then you have the Hornet Wildfire, which is also $175. It comes with that top mounted turret and, of course, the guns on the wings. The Super Hornet Mark I, $185. This one is a 2-seater. You got a pilot and co-pilot. Co-pilot controls the turret on top. Pilot can control the turret in the bottom and the 2 wingtip guns. Then you have the F7CR Hornet Tracker Mark I. This is, they call it a Pathfinder. I think it's more like an AWACS. I would send this out looking for other ships and enemies that would mean to do you harm. And it's able to kind of defend itself a little bit. So, yeah. $150 for the tracker. $140 for the stealth version of the Hornet, which is the Hornet Ghost Mark I. This thing can be pretty stealthy. I've used it a few times in the past, and it can sneak up on some folks. With the 2 wingtip guns being about it, you may want to add something under the chin because it just doesn't pack a punch, a huge punch by itself. The Gladiator. This is one of the oldest ships concepted in the game. The Anvil Gladiator is a 2-seater. You have a pilot, and then you have the gunner. It is a torpedo bomber, but it's a carrier-based bomber or a short-range bomber. It has no jump drive as far as being able to jump between systems, and it doesn't even have really good range on quantum fuel. So you'll definitely need to carry this thing on as some sort of a platform or carrier, like the Privateer, Kraken, whatever, or the Idris, something along those lines in order to get the most out of this ship. Now, this thing has been fixed up a little bit and might be fixed up a little bit more in the near future and not so distant future, where it can be impactful. Hopefully they slave the turret to the pilot. I think they did that in one of the recent patches, if there's no secondary person. Anyways, $165 for a torpedo bomber. It only carries up to size 5 torpedoes right now. The Anvil Hawk. Now, this is a light fighter. It was originally queued to be kind of like a bounty hunter ship. You do get 6 size 1 and 2 weapons on this thing, and it does come with an EMP as well. So it's kind of a pretty versatile light fighter. Then you have the Anvil Hurricane, which is what they call a glass cannon. But let me tell you, this thing is awesome. If you've got a gunner that's worth anything and you're piloting it and you're a decent pilot, you can really make a mess of a lot of enemies. These are size 4 mounts up front, and these are 4 size 3s in the back that they can control. And you can, like I said, make a mess of a lot of ships. $210. Then we go to the Legionnaire, which is a boarding vessel. So it's supposed to, you're supposed to be able to fly this thing over to enemy capital ships or large ships and use it to board them. It'll be fun when this thing's in game and we can actually use it. I don't know how far off that is. I know that, you know, they tried to do a lot of the Anvil ships together, but there's a lot of them. Some of them need to be redone, and this one doesn't have a use in game yet because we're not allowed to use capital ships yet. There you go. $120 for the Legionnaire. Then we have the Liberator, which is $575. This is what they call a deep strike light carrier. It's more of a transport for your vehicles and ships. I mean, more like a ferry, like a boat, you know, that you can use to transfer your car from one side of, you know, a peninsula to the mainland or something, or from an island to a mainland. That's what I would look at this thing more as, is a ferry and not a carrier, as in your typical carrier like the Kraken or the Idris could be. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And then you can use it for that purpose, but it's not going to excel in that role, I don't think. That's me personally saying that. But this thing is cool because you don't need a huge crew to operate it, and it is a big ship. The Spartan. This is a troop transport version of the Ballista or the Centurion. What more can you say about it? It's probably not worth $80, but $80. Terrapin. This is considered also an exploration or pathfinding ship. Again, kind of like an AWAC ship, but I think this one can also find jump points and that sort of thing. Now, interesting thing about this is it's supposed to be kind of sneaky, right? But it's extremely well armored. Whenever crap hits the fan, you can have armor that slides down over and protects the pilot, screen, and everything. It's kind of like a little turtle is what I like to call it. But pretty interesting ship. It's not really meant for long hauls, even though it says exploration, because there's like no bed in it or anything like that. So I don't know why it would even say that, unless you're launching it off of a bigger carrier when you get into a system and it just looks in the system and then comes back. I mean, that's the most exploration it's really going to do. At $220, especially the way this ship is currently in the game, it's probably not worth that. Now, later on, maybe it is when they add everything to it. I don't know when that's going to be. Right now, if you fly this thing, it's not worth $220. The Valkyrie, $375, and it has a special upgrade offer running today. This is an awesome ship. $375 gets you 20 seats for Marines. It gets you 2 side gunners, a turret on top, turret down below, guns for the pilot, guns on the wingtips underneath the cockpit for pilot. I mean, this thing's got a lot, and it's got cargo space enough that you could put a couple of tumbrils in there, a couple tumbril cyclones. I mean, I don't know. To me, the coolest thing about this ship is it always reminds me of the drop ship in the movie Aliens. And I just love it for that. And I will always think of that when I see this thing, and it makes it just completely awesome to me. All right. And as I said, the 10-year upgrade possibility with the Valkyrie. And then we can go down here and look at special offers. There's the War Bond offer for the Anvil Complete Pack for $35.50. If you want to do it with credits, it's $39.75. Then the Anvil gear is $3.50. You'll get the hat and the shirt for this year's Invictus. Let's go ahead and go to the sales room floor at the convention center and take a look at how they're showing off all the ships in game. Before we go to the sales room floor, I did want to show you the Mark 1 farewell page. It also has all of the Hornet Mark 1 series for $650 war bond. Definitely something to pick up if you don't have the Mark 1s and you really want them. You could get the regular Mark 1 with the Killian blue paint at $110, the Tracker with the blue paint for $140, the Ghost with the blue paint $125, and the Super Hornet with the blue paint for $170. Now, if you just want those ships standalone, again, here, the pricing on those, we're not going to go into that because we already did. And then you can get the 3 paint pack for $16.80 right now, or 1 paint for $7, and they've got 3 different paints for it. Now, let's check them out on the sales floor. And we're back on the Bevic Convention Room floor. And first up, you can see we have the Carrack front and center. Again, awesome ship for exploration, for small groups. You can use it for all sorts of different things. It's really good. It's kind of a great multi-role ship at the moment. Then we have the Arrow here. And then we have the C8R and the C8X right here in front of us. And then back behind the Carrack, we have the Hawk over here and the Terrapin over here. So let's take a look at the Terrapin, then we'll take a look at the Hawk, and then we'll move on to other things. So here you can kind of see the Terrapin. And then we'll move over here to where you can see the Hawk. The Hawk is a light fighter. Again, it was kind of designed for some bounty hunting in mind. It looks different than all the other ships in the game, so I'll give it that. It has a unique look that's cool. And again, then we have the F8C as always in here. Seems that the server is handling the amount of users pretty well at the moment. It's not got a lot of lag so far, knock on wood. Okay, so over here on the right is the F8C Lightning, which is an Anvil product. They also have the F8A, which is the military version, but this thing's pretty badass on its own. I mean, you've got 3 weapons on either side, a couple up top. I mean, there's 8 guns in all. Could you ask for more for a single seat fighter? Yeah, awesome fighter. Could be better. The F8A is obviously going to be better than the F8C, kind of like the F7A on the Hornet series is better than the F7C. Here you have the Hurricane with the 2 size 4s up front and 4 size 3s on the turret. Again, a 2-seat heavy fighter. We call it a glass cannon because it can't take a hit very much, but you're going to be hitting people so much that you're probably not going to be getting hit very much. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense, but trust me, it makes sense. When you're pouring down the fire, they're going to be wilting and running. So a great ship for combat, 100%. Be very useful in the upcoming Xeno Threat final mission. So if you're going to be in a fighter, get a buddy, get in a Hurricane, you're going to do all sorts of fun stuff. So here we have the regular F7 series. That's the regular Hornet. And then we have Hornet Mark II, obviously. Then this looks like the military Hornet. Just another Mark II. I wonder why this Mark II has all the guns and stuff, but this one doesn't. Because this one should be the F7A right here. So there's probably some mislabeling going on. That's okay. Let's see what this placard over here has. And of course, now we're getting some of that lag. Yeah, it is the F7A. So this may be the Mark 1 of the F7A. Let's see. No, it's the Mark II F7A. All right, so this is what you get, obviously, when you have the upgraded version of the F7 series Hornet. Mark II. Let's go see what we have elsewhere in the building. Trying to think what other Anvil ships there are. I think everything else is in concept, so we will go down below and check out what they have down there. Are you guys enjoying Invictus so far? Did you get any luck getting an Idris or a Javelin yesterday? Holy crap. I guess the Ballista is an extremely popular attraction. Wow, every NPC on the dang server's in here. Well, guys, that's the Ballista. The most popular vehicle at Invictus, evidently. And of course, I got a massive lag spike. And the Centurion and Spartan are over here. Not nearly as popular as the Ballista, evidently. I don't know why the Ballista is so popular. Maybe because I said it may have not been worth the money, the price. But hey, I don't know. Whatever the NPCs want to do, you know, that's on them. This looks like the Liberator from first glance. I'm sorry, Crucible. Wow. They have changed the model up a little bit from some of the previous versions. So, you know, there's been some work done on it. But this is what the Crucible will be looking like. This looks like the Legionnaire. And honestly, it looks like they've done a lot of work on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if things are out well before the end of the year. And here is the Liberator. Obviously, to scale. So there you have it, guys. This is days, 7 and 8. Anvil Aerospace. What do you guys think? You gonna get yourself some Anvil ships? You gonna pick up a Mark 1 or a Mark 2 Hornet? Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in once again. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to the videos. Please keep doing so, and I'll keep putting them out. You know, like I said, I've been working really hard on it here lately. Although I've been working on a little sleep. I need a little more sleep than I'm getting, but hey, it is what it is. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it happen, and I'm gonna keep bringing you guys what you want to see. So thank you once again for tuning in, Be sure to check out the Texas Space Navy on the RSI website and on our Gilded. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. I will see you out in the verse.